Hello and welcome everyone to another review. My name is Radu and this is the Huawei Matebook X Pro 2020 version. Yes, I think it's the second or the third generation of this kind of ultrabooks, and yes, they had some inspiration. I cannot judge them because they did a pretty good job with this kind of device. So let's start with the unboxing. The Huawei Matebook X Pro comes in a pretty tiny box. Actually, this is the second box because there's always a protection box inside. We have the Intel Inside logo. Yes, it's Intel version. Huawei logo up here and just the name. There's a few specifications on the back. So as you can see, we have the Intel i7 version, the 10th generation, with a dedicated GPU, the NVIDIA MX250, 16 GB of DDR4 and 1 TB SSD. This laptop comes in two versions, one with the i5 and only 8 GB of RAM and a 512 GB storage, and the i7, which is actually double that, with 16 GB of RAM and 1 TB NVMe SSD. Now the thing is, these are ultrabooks, so keep in mind they're very thin, they're very light, and they are non-upgradable. So if you need more storage or more memory, you might want to go for the i7 version because you won't be able to install any more RAM memory inside. And yes, that's the first thing that annoys me, because this CPU supports up to 64 gigs of RAM and we only have 16. Maximum 16. Yes, the storage is a little bit upgradable, but you just have to swap the SSD that's inside. We'll talk about that later. So the unboxing experience is quite nice. We have a flap over here and the box opens just as nice. See? There's a little pop-up. There's a little pop-out action right here, and inside is the laptop. Let's see what else we have inside. So this is kind of heavy. I believe this is the charger, and yes, we have an USB-C to USB-C cable. It's a 3.1 cable that can be used for charging and also for transferring data from a smartphone to this laptop. And we have a dongle. We have a small dongle that has USB-C on the side, and we have one USB port right here, another USB-C port, a VGA output and an HDMI output. Since the laptop is quite thin, they couldn't be able to stick a VGA port or an HDMI port on the side. Now, I don't think you're going to be needing this VGA port unless you work in a corporate environment and you still have an old projector in your meeting room. So, cable, adapter, and where's the charger? This is it. This is the charger. This is one of the smallest chargers for a laptop I've ever seen in a while. And yes, it might feel like a brick, but hey, it's a 65-watt USB-C power delivery charger. This device can actually charge your laptop pretty fast, almost 1.5 hours, and also any kind of USB-C smartphone you have. And yes, it's rated at about, it's starting from 5 volts 2 amps, that's a 10-watt output, and going up to 20 volts and 3.25 amps, that's a 65-watt output. This is the only thing you're going to need for your laptop, smartphone, headphones, tablets, and this is the way it's supposed to be. This is the future, USB-C chargers. The laptop is actually kind of cool, and yes, I said it, they had some inspiration from another manufacturer, but hey, they really did a good job on this one. The first thing you're going to notice, it's a little bit more wider than a normal laptop. That's because the screen doesn't have a normal aspect ratio. It's not 16:9, it's actually 3:2. You can actually compare it to the Surface laptops, which do have the same aspect ratio, and that's for productivity only. You need a higher screen with a higher resolution for documents, tables, and even web pages. No, for movies you won't need it, but hey, it looks actually awesome. So, I've been using this laptop for about a week or so, and yes, the build quality is amazing. It's made of aluminum, all of it, and it comes in 3 colors. This is the space gray variant. It comes in a green emerald, And another version that's a little bit lighter, a grayish version that, yes, resembles more to a MacBook Pro. So on the left side, you're going to see two USB-C ports. Either one of them can be used for charging, and also a headphone jack. On the back, no ports on the back, not even here. And on the right side, you have one single USB 3.1 port, a normal one, because Huawei thought that not everyone has a USB-C stick or any kind of USB-C dongle, so it would be helpful to have a normal USB on a laptop this size. Yes, it does fit and it looks just okay. On the inside, the first thing you're going to see is the dedicated webcam. Yes, it's over here. And trust me, it's kind of a pain in the ass because the position of the camera, it's not very flattering. The keyboard is one of the best I've ever seen in a $2,000 laptop. Yes, I'm comparing it to the MacBook Pro. It's very similar, it has a very similar travel distance, but hey, that's not a bad thing. The spacebar is kind of loud, but hey, I really got used to it in the first few hours. Typing on this keyboard is a very good experience. And yes, I do like the fact that the power button and the fingerprint reader is outside of the keyboard layout, so you're not going to be able to push the delete button when you're going to power it up or down. Very similar to the MacBook, yes, it does have the speaker grill on the outside, and yes, it's quite thin. The thing is, it sounds amazing. I'm gonna show you in a few minutes. Now the trackpad is big, it's really big. It uses Windows Precision drivers, it's very smooth, it's made of glass, and yes, I have no problem using any type of gestures on it. The screen doesn't go over all the way, but as you can see, the color reproduction of this display is quite amazing. On the specification side, it's a 13.9-inch display with a 3:2 aspect ratio and a 3000 by 2000 pixels resolution. That's almost 6 million pixels, very close to 4K resolution. And of course, it's a touchscreen. Why wouldn't it be? I haven't used it too much as a touchscreen. Sometimes I actually forget it's a touchscreen and keep using the mouse because I'm a mouse lover, and yeah, but it works. Okay, Windows is not the best operating system for use with a touchscreen, but let's face it, in the last few years it has improved quite much. On a color reproduction spectrum, it's a 100% RGB IPS display, and yes, it can be used for everything from watching movies to editing a few photos, even editing some Full HD video, because yes, the CPU can do it. You might want to be careful on which side of the room you have your desk or the lights, because as you can see, there is a bit of a reflection in the screen, even though I don't have any lights in the back. Only that, the big one over there. So you have to lose some to win some. If you want a very good screen with very good color reproduction, very bright and vivid colors, you need this type of screen. Now in terms of performance, the SSD inside, it's actually a beast. What I don't like is the fact that from the factory you have two partitions, and the Windows partition is only 119 gigabytes. Let's say it downloads a very big chunky Windows update and you have two movies on your desktop. That's gonna be a problem. I recommend reinstalling this laptop and use this 1TB SSD as a single partition, because that's going to give you a lot more and faster storage. The laptop comes with Windows 10 Pro. It does come with a few shortcuts for Netflix, for Office, Skype, Microsoft Edge, and yes, a few games like the Microsoft Solitaire Collection. Nostalgia, right? In terms of performance, there's not much to comment on. We have an Intel i7 CPU, the 10th generation, with 4 cores and 8 threads. The base speed of the CPU is 1.8 GHz, but yes, it can handle speeds to about 4 GHz on one single core. And that's because it's a U CPU. That means it's a low voltage CPU designed for this kind of thin and ultralight laptops. The integrated graphic card, the Intel 630, is really good for playing 4K video or even high resolutions, but you don't want to use it for gaming. If you do need to use some gaming, there's a second dedicated graphic card, the GeForce MX 250, and let's say it's just a pretty good graphic card overall, compared to the 950 from a while ago from the desktop side. The battery, on the other hand, it's a 56 watt hour, and yes, you won't have any problem taking it on a plane. The thing is, if you use it in low power mode like this, you're going to be able to get about 6 to 9 hours of battery usage, even though you're browsing, you're watching a movie or listening to some music. Actually, if you're watching movies on this laptop, it's gonna go up to 10 or 11 hours because the decoder will be the onboard graphics itself. If you wish to use it in high performance mode for Adobe Premiere or Adobe Photoshop or any other kind of workflow, yes, Excel table counts as well. You're going to get about 3 to 4 hours, and then you're going to need to recharge it. The good thing is it's fast charging. It's going to get the battery from 10% to almost 100% in less than an hour. In terms of noise, there are two fans inside, one cooling the CPU, the other the dedicated GPU, but no, there is no noise. The laptop is almost dead silent until you open an Excel table or lot of browser windows. Hey, I gotta come in life. Go get your DeLorean. Go get your DeLorean. Go get your DeLorean. The speakers are quite okay, but they're especially good for watching movies because there are 4 of them, and yes, it supports Dolby Software Surround, which is integrated in Microsoft Windows 10. For music, you won't have any problem enjoying your favorite tunes because it does sound good. Not the best, but it does sound good. We have to admit it, it's actually kind of thin, so they would have to make a lot of improvements to the speakers to have even more bass. But hey, as well, if you really want to enjoy music or movies, a nice pair of modern headphones, a Bluetooth version, let's say the Sony XM3, would be a better choice. This and the fact that you won't be annoying your colleagues at the office or your friends or family at home. In terms of video, it doesn't have any problem running an 8K video from YouTube or a single file when it's always on full screen. That's the thing. If you want smooth video, you have to put it on full screen, so the internal GPU knows that you're running a high quality video. See? No frames dropped, not anything, and yes, it does look really good. Scrubbing? Just a little bit of buffering, but it's quite nice. So overall, in performance, you won't have any problems. I did some light Full HD editing with Adobe Premiere. I've done some Lightroom and Photoshop editing, and yes, they all turned out really nice. But the fact that the screen is actually what it's supposed to be on a laptop. You know, 16:9 screens are okay for TVs, projectors, and that's pretty much it. I don't need a 16:9 screen on a laptop because I want to have so much more height. So my opinion is this: do you need this laptop? I don't know, you decide for yourself. But if you do choose to buy it, you're going to be very satisfied. The SSD is fast, the CPU is fast, the screen is actually amazing, and yes, the battery life, it's what it's supposed to be for this kind of laptops. It charges really fast, it lasts all day. You can charge it from another USB-C adapter like this one. Yes, this is Samsung 45 watt adapter, and this is the one I've been using. That's why the adapter that's shipped with, it's already in the box. So this is it. This is our review for the Huawei Mate X Pro, the 2020 version, the beefed up model with the i7. So what do you think about this? Do you have something like this at home? Do you want it? Do you feel like you need a very slim and powerful laptop? Leave your comments down below. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button. If you didn't like, as I remember, YouTube is almost one of the few video platforms that allows a dislike. If you really dislike this video, well, you know what to do. And if you want to see more reviews like this one, go get subscribed. Thank you very much. My name is Radu and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!